back on the street. And if we don't move stronger, as Rob said, then we will have other casualties, unfortunately, both from the addicted and from the accidentally addicted. A second area, so we need treatment. We got to step up treatment. There's a great program, Portage in New Brunswick. Newfoundland, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, they bought places. They bought the places for their children to go to, because it can be up to a year long. And they re-equip and retool and help young people remanage their lives. They change their whole approach to living. And Glenn, that's what's got to happen, isn't it? Right? Yeah. And so we have to do that. We have to do much, much better on the treatment side. On the education side, Amy has only spoken to 2 or 3 groups. And I've gotten the feedback. One adult high school where she spoke, a young girl, addicted, called Amy afterwards. Didn't ask any questions, didn't say anything at the session, but called to see where she could get help. She just spoke in Chester Junior High School. The teacher said, the best drug education that my students have been subjected to. We have to get John, we have to get Cheryl and Amy and Kristen and Glenn. We've got to get them in our classrooms across this province. And there's a lot of other areas as well. When the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario, when they did their report in September 2010, this is all very relevant, very new, they made 30 recommendations. They were actually tougher than the coroner and the inquiry that the Justice Department did in Ontario. But 9 out of the first 30 relate to education. You know, my family doctor, and I've talked to young doctors as well, and they'll tell you they had a fleeting moment in med school to deal with pain management. And I just met with Dr. Tom Mary, Dean of the Dow Med School, and they said they are starting to develop a proper curriculum for med students. They don't know about, very little on the pain management side. But as Rob said big pharma, and that's what every doctor told me. Who are you educated by? Not Doctors Nova Scotia, not a professional development course from Dalhousie. They're educated by big pharma. And you know this deal Oxy? That's a crock. That's a cover-up by big pharma. Okay? OxyContin was bad enough. Sure, they can't crush the pills immediately, but you know what it did? It gives their patent 15 more years. That's what it allows them to do, and keep their drugs spilling onto the market, right? Yeah, it's about money, it's about greed. So those are a few of the areas that I see we have to dramatically change. And we can actually, be critical of our family doctors. And the other area that Rob touched upon is so relevant. And government has started down the road, get as many methadone clinics in place as possible. And they're good from the standpoint that they're trying at least to offer some counseling and supportive work with them. But that's only one part of the equation. And if we stay stuck on just methadone, we won't go too far. And we have a huge problem, and I don't mind saying it publicly. I've got some legal advice on this. We have a huge problem at the Mud Creek Clinic in Woodville. We have a huge problem at Mud Creek Clinic. They are unconscionable in what they do. Mark Mander has given me all the information as well, where he's gone into homes, and they have a script for marijuana, they have prescription drugs, and they also have methadone. And no counseling, no nothing whatsoever going on. It's a private clinic. And until there's an investigation there, and I know the Auditor General has been down, he's gone through detox of the whole medical community in the Valley, and hopefully he included the private clinic in his work. But because now we have in Wolfville, Kentville, in that corridor, we actually have a methadone subculture, in my view. where they, when they divert it, when they can, if they got some other scripts, and it's actually continues to make matters very, very bad throughout the valley. But it's a huge problem. Everybody needs to be a voice. Everybody needs to be a voice. And thank you for being here today. And one of these days we'll continue in the fall to push this in the legislature. Rob really motivated me with his speech today, and Glenn and all the speakers to realize, and this is one of our problems as politicians, is that we're asked to bring so many things to the forefront and into the legislature, but it takes all of us as a community to bring about positive change. But Leslie, Amy, and Scott, 3 people, made this get underway in this province. Absolutely, the 3 of them. Without the 3 of them advocating, being loud, being in the media, then we wouldn't be where we are today, but we still have a long way to go. Thank you very much.
Just to go along with Leo about the treatment and how big of a problem. My daughter's only 25 years old, and she's buried over 20 of her friends since 2005. Those kids have been in and out of my house. It started in 2005 when 3 boys died in the garage, and I looked at Leo Levine. We were both crying at the funeral, and he said, "These are my kids too." And since from that time on, it's been death after death after death after death. 13 deaths, December 2010 to March 2011. We're looking at 13 deaths that Amy and I know about. We have pounded and pounded and pounded the government with protests and all the stuff that Amy has done is just remarkable. And in hopes to get treatment. But what this has taught me, Harlan Dory, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been in the AA program since 2003. I became a volunteer at the Middleton Detox Unit. One of the things that was strange, I was there to help alcoholics, I met 2. All the others were addicted to pills. I didn't even know where the pills were coming from at that time. That's how naive. I used to work at a bank, and then I turned into, Miss Protester. Anyways, like totally different career here. Anyways, I worked with Harlan Dory. And unfortunately, I had so many people that were asking for help that I could only, with me being a recovering addict as myself, I need to take care of myself, and I really felt like Harlan slipped through my fingers. So when he died, which 3 days before Christmas, my daughter lost another, Kevin Muse, who Leo Levine taught also. Again, 2 weeks before that, there was C.J. Frank. It was on and on. It was just a rapid death. And I snapped. And so, thank goodness for the Harlan Dory family and the Amy Graves family that actually, when the funerals took place, they described what happened and said, "Don't party in my name. Don't do what Josh did." But unfortunately, they didn't give Harlan Dory a chance. He was screaming for help. So thankfully enough, the medical system knows the name of Leslie Tilley. And I'm trying very hard right now to get someone some help. Because I was in Mud Creek Medical Clinic yesterday, and the doctor said, "I can't prescribe you methadone." I said, "I'm not asking for methadone." I said, "Because we shut you down." And he said, I said, "We're asking for help." I said, "Could you please write a letter to the head of the methadone clinic?" And I said, "If you start shutting doors, as they did with Harlan Dory, we're going to have more deaths." So hopefully I can post on the internet that this person is going to get methadone. But I'm thankful for, coming forward to being able to help others. Through the 12-step programs that I belong to, we help each other, we help the newcomers. But this is helping on a whole new level. It's bringing it all out. Like, I'd like to see thousands. I'd like to see Walk for Addictions. I'd like to see it all. Lose the stigma. We have a disease. I'm an alcoholic. It's a part of me. It's not all of me. I say I'm an addict, same thing. And So thank you all for being here, and I hope the rooms start getting packed. Maybe we need to take Rob's advice. And we need to get on that megaphone again.